I shed a tear 'cause I'm missing you. I'm still alright to smile. Cheap electric bill, I think about you every day now. Because our electric bill is about to go through the ever-loving roof. Now, you know how when you go to the gas pump, well, maybe you don't know this, but we've known about this at Realist News for a long time. And Lindsey Williams told us when I first found his very first video was in 2007. He was speaking at the Granada Forum, and I think it was either in 2006 or 7. I caught him maybe at the tail end of 2007 or whatever. And he said, you know, the non-energy crisis, we have all the oil, gas in the world. It's a farce. They set the price of gas on Wall Street every single day. It has nothing to do with anything you hear on the news. A pipeline burst, there's a war in Africa, nothing. We set the price just like they rig it for silver and gold in the COMEX market every single day. Guess what else they set the price of? What else is on that effing criminal market? Natural gas, heating, etc. This Zero Hedge article might be a freaking doozy from yesterday. Power bills to the moon. Now you want cryptos to go to the moon, right? Cryptos? See, we channel a little Happy Gilmore. See, Happy, the ball has its own life force, if it will. Bags are packed. It's at the airport. Send them home. Energy. Harness good, block bad. Harness good, block bad. Okay? Cryptocurrency to the moon. Electric bills down. Harness good, block bad. Okay? Power bills to the moon. Chaos, shock, and electricity prices across the U.S. explode. Again, under whose watch? Who's supposedly the president right now? And I'm going to ask you, because I'm not going to quickly do the research, but as long as I've been doing videos like this, I feel like if something like this had happened before, I probably would remember this. Like, oh yeah, I remember doing a video like 4 years ago. But don't think so. Update, 17:26 Eastern Time last night, so 7, 6, 5 o'clock, 5:30. Weather forecast models suggest the polar vortex will continue pouring Arctic air into much of the central U.S. through February the 20th. This means that natural gas or nat gas prices could rise even higher early next week as electricity demand continues to soar over the weekend. And that just reminded me of an old 80s skating rink song. Look out weekend, 'cause here we come. 'Cause weekends were made for fun, fun, fun. Sorry, I'm like I say, sometimes spirit comes through to my friends. They give them good stuff. Joe, Theta's gonna go to 313, then it's gonna do this. Okay. Me? Oh, here's an 80s song. Oh. And if it comes in, who am I to deny it? You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, this means that natural gas prices could rise even higher early next week as electricity demand continues to soar over the weekend as Americans crank up their thermostats and watch Netflix shows or mine Bitcoin. Pardon me. On Thursday, we reported that natural gas prices across the Plains states had soared to never-before-seen levels as a result of a brutal polar vortex blast. I was actually looking at the weather. What was it? Yeah, this coming up week, and I'm like, let me just look around like southern Texas. You know, the path I usually take to New Mexico. You know, just curious because it doesn't normally get too cold down there, but it was like, oh, low of 7 or 8. Whoa, what? High of 30 something. Whoa. For reals? Yeah. So I'm thinking, yeah, imagine the electric bill someone's going to pay because of, again, whether this storm doesn't have anything to do with it other than, yeah, people are going to use freaking gas, natural gas, heaters, whatever, electricity as well. But does that automatically mean, well, before you answer, let me get down to the prices that you're about to hear that you won't even believe. You won't even think that it's possible to go like as high as what I'm about to tell you. For natural gas being traded on the COMEX market. Again, who's in charge when this is happening? Joe Biden. What I tell you was going to happen under Joe Biden's watch. All the negative shit is going to be under his watch, which will be a very short period of time. And then, oh, he's gone. Trump impeachment, gone. They did not convict. He was acquitted. Of course, who wouldn't have thought any different? And now we get to, I think, the good stuff. So, and maybe this week's the really good stuff. We'll see. So anyways, on Thursday we reported that natural gas prices across the Plains states had soared to never-before-seen levels as a result of a brutal polar vortex blast. Yeah, okay. Cold weather's blasting in. It does not mean that all of a sudden natural gas supplies are empty and, oh my God, that's why they're skyrocketing. Nope. Not because they're empty. They've got the gas. They've got the pipelines. They've been run decades ago. Chock full with gas, ready to go. So why would there be a massive increase? Well, I'm glad you asked. Anyway, so that happened, which naturally froze off natural supply as wellheads freeze-offs, cutting production receipts just when they're needed most by customers' demand for heating. Now, hold on. Now, that could be a problem to give you the natural gas. But let me ask you a question. Or I'll tell you the answer because I live in Florida. And when we have some pretty big storms or hurricanes that even barely touch into where I'm at, they knock trees down, limbs, boom, power's out for a few days sometimes even longer if it's a hurricane that gets a lot closer. My electric bill does not change. As a matter of fact, it goes down. Down? Yeah, because my effing electricity's turned off. The tree downed it. Sorry. It doesn't go up. And when they fix everything, it doesn't go up either. It goes back to where it was. Oh, your bill's this much again. Why? Because the electricity is already there. They've got plenty of electricity. It's just that some trees knocked it down. So if a wellhead freezes and some of these this gas cannot be supplied to people, that does not equal, oh my God, massive prices. It should equal, oh my God, people might be freezing to death. Get ready for some news stories, possibly. Which reminds me of John Teeter. I swear to God, just came in. John Teeter, time traveler. Oh, I hear they're installing a lot of wood-burning stoves in California. He goes, no, the big one hasn't hit yet, but, you know, the earthquake. But I hear they're installing a lot of wood-burning stoves in California. That just came in out of nowhere. I was not thinking about John Teeter. Wood-burning stoves. Woo Dude has a wood-burning stove. I had a wood-burning stove when I was in Tennessee. Pastor Dowell and them have wood-burning stoves where they are. But you know what? Even if you have natural gas, and you happen to have a wood-burning stove, and you have a nice couple of cords of wood or whatever, that could last you through a brutal winter, might not be a bad idea, depending on where you are, of course. But again, lower Texas, even mid-Texas, getting the kind of cold that we're seeing for this week coming up, it's unprecedented. Again, just wait. I'm building you up to what you're about to see of gas prices, and I'm talking natural gas, because it's bidded on Wall Street. And I'm going to tell you this. When I was playing with my contracts in 2008, and I got screwed on silver, as I told you, margin call, your account's gone, you owe us $500 on top of it, have a nice day. I was playing some food contracts, corn, wheat, something else, I think, and it worked out. I got into corn, and then I was like, no, I'm switching over to wheat. And wheat started really going up. And I'm like, hell yeah, this is cool. And then I read some stories about, in Egypt specifically, food lines, bread lines, people fighting, a couple people killing each other over short supply of bread, and the government telling them this is all we have because the price of wheat's so high, we can't afford the imports to give you guys, you poor people, for free. So, sorry. And I'm over here looking at a nice, decent, you know, uptick in my price, my percentage that I've got in on this wheat contract. Mini wheat contract, actually, because you can do full size and minis. Yeah, mini wheat, the cereal. No, mini wheat futures contract. And I read that and I go, so I'm playing a market that's going up, and there's others doing the same thing, and it's getting worse, and our profits going way up, but there's people starving and hurting each other and trying to kill each other, literally killing each other. Not that there was a lot that did it, but I remember reading about at least a couple of instances where they killed each other. And I go, I'm sorry, I just don't feel right about that. The profits are great, but I don't feel right about it. You know what? Let me try plain silver. So I took all that money with the profit, put in a silver contract, mini. It got completely wiped out. So there goes all my profit. There goes everything. And you owe us $500 margin call. So these same banks, it's not the small traders, the same big banks, the ones who make the big moves and big mistakes on Wall Street, we bail them out when they make their mistakes, of course. They're the ones pushing the price up right now. They don't care that there's going to be people who might literally freeze to death, can't afford a bill, whatever. Although typically what I think the government would do, but they were usually last to act, would be, okay, well, we're putting a freeze on the gas company's ability to freeze you out of your account because in an emergency, you're going to have the power stay on or the gas stay on. And then you find out, oh, well, thanks, government, for forcing them to let me have gas since they were going to shut me down because I couldn't pay the bill. But now that everything's back together, you're telling me I still owe the bill. And then now that it's warm outside, they're going to shut me off, right? That's the kind of crap that can happen. Well, you owe $3,000. Well, I usually pay $300. No, you owe $3,000 now. We had a spike in vortex. It was polar vortex came down. No, effing criminals on Wall Street did it again. So one day later, that's exactly what happened because as frigid temperatures caused equipment failures, temporary shutdowns, and flaring in at least 4 natural gas processing plants. We hit the proverbial offerless market. You remember that? Cliff High, Webbot, there'd be bidless markets coming up, specifically to precious metals. And maybe even at one time Bitcoin or something, I forget. But there's this one, natural gas. Bidless market, offerless market. Not bidless, offerless. We're not selling. No price. So we hit the proverbial offerless market where any natural gas that was available would be purchased at virtually any price. Which is why mid-continent prices, such as the ONOC, whatever it is, OGT natural gas spot, again, that's the futures contract, exploded from $3.46, which is typically like a gallon of propane, gallon of natural gas, to $9 on Wednesday. Went up nearly 3 times. $60.28 on Thursday. And an insane $377.13 on Friday, which is up 32,000% in just a few days. This is one of those places where having a limit up circuit breaker could actually be useful. You know, like, oh, I'm sorry, GameStop, we're shutting down trading. It's gone up too high. It's gone up too high, we're shutting down trading. But not natural gas? Oh, okay. So this is one of those places where having a limit up circuit breaker could actually be useful, even though there simply is nowhere near enough products to satisfy demand at any price. Hence the explosive move. Hubs across the mid-continent led the surge in prices again February 12th, as weather forecasts predicted the coldest temperatures in more than a decade, global warming, excuse me, would hit the region over the upcoming holiday weekend. Platts reported that at locations across Kansas, Oklahoma, and eastern Arkansas, Penny Kelly, you doing all right over there? You sure that was the right place? Holy crap. She feels, hey, if she's guided, that's going to be the right place. But that's a little bit scary. At the same time, what about Michigan? It's probably just as freezing over there too. Hub prices were trading at single-day record highs around $200 to $300. Regional hubs, which typically service only limited local demand, saw fierce competition among shippers, utilities, and end users looking to meet weekend requirements. At one Enable gas transmission location, the cash market traded as high as $500. And I would not pay $500 just to have some gas just to freeze with you. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da. Actually, you might pay $500 to not freeze to death. Per gallon. Or per whatever, MMBTU, however they do that. It was $500 with weighted average prices holding steady by mid-session around $359. At other nearby hubs, cash markets moved to a dizzying record high with One Oak, Oklahoma, I guess that was the other one, $374. Southern Star, I need to sing a song. Oh, Southern Star, how I wish you would shine. Show me the way to get home. That was Alabama, wasn't it? Southern Star, how you priced $275 us out of the market. Oh, how I wish you would come way down. Panhandle at $225 and ANR Oklahoma at $205. At the region's benchmark location, NGPL, Mid-Continent, the market was holding around $205. Data from the Intercontinental Exchange showed. And as end users across the Mid-Continent compete for gas, available gas, shippers move quickly to cut transmissions to neighboring markets. On February 12th, net inbound shipments of gas climbed to 180 mmCFD, whatever, their highest on record dating back to 2005. In January, the Mid-Continent region, which typically delivers gas to neighboring markets, saw net outbound transmissions average nearly 3.1 BCFD. Or I guess per day, whatever that is. Yeah, so production was typically about 6.25, and demand is now right at 10. And now production has fallen to about almost 5. Of course, as natural gas went offerless, it was just a matter of hours before the immediate downstream commodity, electricity, would follow suit. And that's precisely what happened overnight. As wholesale electricity prices across all U.S. markets on Friday. Echoing what we said on Friday, Platts wrote, quote, as Arctic air mass continues to blanket much of the central U.S., the U.S. National Weather Service has issued multiple severe weather notices. Widespread wind chills warnings and advisories are extended through February 14th and likely into next week for much of the upper Midwest and Mid-Continent, as well as some areas in the Northwest and Northern Texas. Daily temperatures across some of the locations will range between 30 to 40 degrees below average. I'm sorry, how much below? 30 to 40 degrees below average. And we ain't talking Celsius over here in America. We're talking Fahrenheit. Eastern PJM, Northwest, and much of Texas are also under winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories. This is catastrophic news, not only for the continued freeze in a nat gas distribution system, but for the explosion in electricity prices, which could see many customers see a February electricity bill in the thousands of dollars, if not tens of thousands. Are you kidding me? Is this a parody? No, it's not. This is what a power trader at Houston Energy Company advised us on Friday. Get ready for this. Now, do you recall Cliff High? Somewhere, what was it, the 12th or 11th something, and then a little bit of time past that was like the next oh shit moment. Watch what's going on. The emotional spike we had back at the end of January. This next one will be magnitudes higher than that. How about what I just read you? Where does that fit on the Richter scale? Oh, he's got a bill. Excuse me. You must have I think your printer or computer's having a problem. Yeah, what's your account number, sir? Oh. Nope. Nope, you owe us $8,888. What we did that Bitcoin for fun. We bought. You owe us $8,888 for February's electric bill. But we had freezing and the power was out for quite a bit. We barely used any electricity. Yeah, that's why yours is only $8,888. Have a good day, sir. So here's what they said. The power trader at Houston Energy. Prices in response to the persistent cold have pushed load expectations to all-time winter highs and on par with the hottest summer days the ISO has experienced. Now, again, stop. So, if it's on par with the hottest days, we're talking electricity, so it doesn't matter if it's a hot or a cold day, you're just using electricity. Did people have thousands or tens of thousands of dollars electric bills on the hottest of electricity days? No. So I just want to point that out. Actual shortages could persist if units aren't weatherized and fail at any point. Monday peak is currently bid 4,000. And ball week inclusive of Tuesday through Friday is 1,000 at 2,000. Off-peak nights have traded insane levels as well, with the balance of the Monday trading $650. For reference, summer of 2018 came close to touching these levels. The highest trade on a ball day was around $2,000, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe like a one-off event, I guess he's talking about. The PUC is meeting today to discuss coordination and potential conservation efforts, but this event will likely crush several firms who are not collateralized enough to weather, no pun intended, the storm. So we have another GameStop event, not for the Wall Street hedge funds in particular, or is it? Or is it? Which firms? Wall Street big boys? The small boys? The medium-sized boys? Who? Somebody. Somebody's, plural, is not collateralized enough. It is about to get wrecked. Why? Because we have people who short these markets. We have people who go long these markets. And the kind of prices we're talking about here right now, anybody even kind of short is, I'm telling you now, is absolutely destroyed. GameStop 2.0, here we come. And that might be a good title for this video. GameStop 2.0 for electric and gas bills. Holy F. Good title. And all of those folks on Gritty could literally be looking at paying $4 per kilowatt. Not 12 cents, not 13 cents, not 14 cents. $4 per kilowatt across the state, as opposed to 12 cents or whatever rate you got at your house, pushing power bills to the moon. One day later, and the peak price on ECROT was real-time hit. West real-time hit an absolute all-time high of $5,500, up from $302 the day before. If anyone has a little extra natural gas in storage, this is the time to sell it and buy a private island. Kind of like Steven's parody about Bitcoin. When that guy bought pizza for 10,000 Bitcoin, you could bought a couple private islands. What follows is a breakdown of how the natural gas supply collapse is impacting soaring electricity prices across the U.S. Texas. ERCOT next day prices reached record highs on the Intercontinental Exchange as temperatures throughout Texas were forecast to tumble double digits on February 15th. Dallas temperatures were forecast to drop 8 degrees Fahrenheit, and Houston was down to 34 degrees, according to custom weather. The brutally cold temperatures also affected wind supply of ERCOT generation for February 15th, which was forecast to tumble down 52.5%. Deanne Walker, chairman of the Public Utility Commission of Texas, said at a meeting on February 11th that there was some issues with some gas generation plants being curtailed, and that wind turbines are all frozen, further placing upward pressure on already sky-high prices. ERCOT North Hub real-time next day, February 15th, on-peak power prices skyrocketed to trade above $3,000, up from its previous settlement of $325. Next day prices broke high records, and they had not seen similar four-digit prices since August 15th, 2019, when prices settled around $1,848. But again, I think some of these one-offs that they're talking about are just little burps. Bloop. This one might be a little bit different. ERCOT North Hub real-time balance of the week of February 16th through 19th surged to top $1,500, I guess a megawatt. And the balance of the month off-peak package for February 16th to 28th had climbed to $499.75, or $650 megawatt. Bloomberg's Javier Blas said Texas utilities are asking citizens to conserve electricity if possible, as ERCOT prices surge across the board above $5,000 per megawatt and hit the $9,000 cap in many nodes. Texas electricity grid is facing massive demand as cold weather hits southern and central U.S. states. This article goes on even longer. I think I've been enough at 25 minutes. Bottom line is, when you have to rely on other people, it's that same old thing. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. That goes on for cryptos, for precious metals. Well, I got a receipt that says a warehouse has it. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. And if you don't produce your own energy, kind of the same thing. And last time I checked, none of us rascals produce our own energy. However, I don't know, let's say you had a, I don't know, 10 kilowatt something, not even, you don't have to have that much. Again, we're talking emergency situation where you want to disconnect from the power grid. Flip the breakers off, hook up your 7, 8, 10 kilowatt generator, let it run, and hook heaters up in your house. Space heaters or whatever, unless you can power your normal air conditioner for heat. But honestly, I'd probably power, kids, you all sleep in one room tonight. Me and mom, we're sleeping in our room. Or honestly, you could all sleep in the same room as a family. Everybody pile into our room. But whatever. All you guys sleep in your sister's room. You guys have a space heater. Me and mom, we've got a space heater. Even on high, 1500 watts. 1500 watts, that's 3000 watts. You got an 8, 9, 10K generator. And yeah, maybe you're running your refrigerator too. Whatever. Honestly, you probably don't need to. It's probably going to be freezing down there. Just unplug the refrigerator. It's going to be fine. Like, that's one way to, I guess, get out of it, not use electricity. But again, you're not going to supply yourself electricity. Well, I'm not doing that again. Screw you, Texas Power. We're not paying you. I'm going to get my own generator. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. But boy, does having a generator. How many of these people in all these states right now probably already have tried to go and buy generators? Are they out? Are they out of stock all of a sudden? People realizing what's about to happen? Going, we probably need a generator and some gas, of course. However, diesel generator, diesel fuel, guess what happens to diesel fuel in cold weather? It gels. It gels. So what you might have to do is have a little space heater on low power, maybe 750 watts, out in, I don't think you're going to want to let your generator run on the pure outside if it's super cold, windy, snowy. But if you had like a garage and you crack the doors or that kind of thing, because you got to have some fresh air getting in there, and you let your, and when I say garage, I'm not talking about a garage that's attached to your house, because if you run a generator inside a garage that's attached to your house, those fumes are getting into your house, guaranteed, and you're going to die. But if you have a detached garage, like some of us, or a barn or something, you could put it out there, again, crack the doors, whatever, a little bit, put a little space heater by the freaking fuel tank, and the generator itself, actually, the generator will stay warm. And come to think of it, if the generator is running, you may not have to do that. If you just had a, couple, whatever, jugs of gas or diesel, gas can handle a lot colder than diesel. But if you had some jugs of diesel and you had a diesel generator, you could just put the gas cans, the diesel cans, by the generator, because it probably would produce enough heat to keep that fuel at a decent temperature. But again, outside in the pure cold, no, I don't think so. I don't even think then it would work. But in an enclosed environment with the door cracked, like 1 or 2 garage doors detached from your house, so you don't kill yourself from the fumes, that might work. You wouldn't have. I was thinking, yeah, get a heater and just kind of put the gas can not directly in front of it, but a couple feet away, and let that warmth hit the gas can so that the diesel doesn't gel on you. But again, most people have gas generators anyways, but you'd have to have a lot of gas on standby, so you better go get the gas while you can, and you're going to need like 8 or 10 containers of gas potentially for that generator to run those heaters, although the generator will probably be running at about half power, so it should last you a good amount of time per gas. But the best fuel efficient generators out there are diesel. The worst fuel efficient ones are propane, and they do make those whole house propane ones, or honestly they make dual gas ones, gas and propane, regular generators. but you got to feed it a lot of propane. So if you're going to buy a 30-pound or 100-pound tank, that's not going to do crap for you. It'll barely last you. You need a 500-gallon, you know, 250-gallon, you know, 1,000-gallon, whatever, propane tank, like the people use at the whole house generators, so that when the power or whatever goes out, you're good for like 2 weeks straight. And that's like powering your house like normal, like just doing what you normally do, not even trying to conserve. If you try to conserve and go, you know what, let's shut everything off, it's freezing outside, so we don't need to run the air, but we do need to run some space heaters. Or again, maybe you have a furnace or something, whatever, that's electric. Although most furnaces, I guess, are gas. So maybe you could supply your own furnace with the 500-gallon gas that you have, not relying on the city provided or whatever lines where you find out, oh, we had to shut it off, we had a thing freeze, blah, blah, blah. You know, I think I'd rather have my own propane at my house in a 500-gallon tank or 1,000 for it to be epic. And I know I could last a month like nothing's happening. Yeah, that sounds better to me. So, all peeps out there, it might not be a bad idea to start thinking about these things as we progress in the future of this world. Because this little cold snap, if you will, is not going to be a one-off. It's not going to be a one-off. It's going to happen again. And we might find it happening every winter as the new norm and getting possibly worse. So do you want to be backlogged with everybody else who figured it out too late? Or do you want to listen to Jay Snip, who's giving you the intel right now, to say, you know what? We've been blessed with these crypto profits. I'm paying off some debt, doing this, but you know what? On second thought, I kind of like the idea of having a big giant propane tank in my yard that it just goes from there underground, right? It's buried underground so the stuff doesn't freeze. And you could winterize your tank if you need to, you know, put some blankets or whatever around the damn thing, worst case. It feeds your house and you are good to go. Cooking, heat, even if it's not for electricity. If it was just for, like, you know, heating purposes or whatever, that thing would last a really long time. If you're trying to run a generator to produce power in your house, well, that's a different story. But at the same time, it might not be a bad idea to get a whole house generator when your electric bill could potentially be thousands of dollars. And say, okay, well, that just happened. That's never going to happen to me again. I'll never do that again. I'll turn my power off next time that happens, and then I'll use my generator, my propane, and then when things are back to 12 cents a kilowatt, I'll turn it back on, thanks. And then I'll call the gas company, hey, can you come fill me up? Can you come fill me up? Buttercup, baby, just to let me down. See you later.